West Virginia permits local municipalities to charge a sales tax and a gross receipts tax known as B&O tax in West Virginia. This template allows you to enter the tax rates for your state and local jurisdictions. The information is collected in monthly, quarterly, and annual summaries. The template adds the total sales and calculates the taxes due based on your tax rates. This will provide you the information needed to report these taxes based on your individual needs. The slides that follow will show you how to use the template. This template, like all others in Bob's Basic system, has a Company Info tab, a Summary tab, and other tabs that feed into the Summary tab. The Company Info tab contains your company name, address, and phone number. After you enter the information here, it is automatically entered in the appropriate cells of all tabs. In the case of this template, the company name is all that is transferred. The Summary tab is started by entering the state name in cell B2, the state sales tax in cell I1, and the gross receipts tax, the GR tax, in cell J2, if your state has this type of tax. All other amounts are the totals from the tax-exempt sales tab, the no local tax tab, or the local tabs, which automatically transfer their totals to the Summary tab. The Summary tab will provide you with the sales tax and the total local taxes on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis. The only information you should enter on this tab is the state name and the tax rates. The Tax-Exempt tab is used to track tax-exempt sales such as churches, government agencies, and other tax-exempt organizations. It is positioned to the left of the Summary tab, so it can be easily separated from the normal course of business. Some states do not require this to be reported, and others do. In states that do, you usually show the total sales, including the exempt sales, and subtract the sales to exempt organizations. This leaves the taxable sales balance. The totals for the exempt sales are automatically transferred to the Summary tab like all other tabs. The monthly total exempt sales can be found in row 7 of the Summary tab. Row 6 of the Summary tab shows the total of taxable and exempt sales, and row 8 of the Summary tab shows the remaining monthly taxable sales. On the Summary tab, row 5 shows the quarterly totals for all sales, and row 4 shows the annual total for all sales. Rows 4 and 5 include taxable sales and exempt sales. If you need to know these quarterly and annual totals for exempt sales, they are on the Tax-Exempt Sales tab. The No Local Tax tab is used to enter sales amounts for areas where there are no local taxes. If you have tax-exempt sales, do not enter these on this form. These totals will provide the state totals. Starting at row 7, enter the date in the leftmost column, column A. Then enter the job name or daily sales in column B. Next, enter your sales amount before taxes in the appropriate monthly column. The totals at the top of the page will add amounts in the monthly columns from row 7 to row 5007, giving you room for 5,000 entries. The top of the page has rows for totals, which will automatically be transferred to the Summary tab. Do not enter any information in these rows. The local tabs are all the same. There are local tabs for 30 local tax jurisdictions. The first step in using these tabs is to rename the tab. This is done by right-clicking on the tab name, then renaming the tab by adding the local tax jurisdiction name. This will let you easily find each local to enter your sales data. The next step is to go to cell B2 where it says Local Name. Left-click here and enter the name of the local tax jurisdiction. The information you enter here will automatically be transferred to the appropriate cell in column C of the Summary tab. You should check the Summary tab in column C to see that the local name does not exceed the width of the cell. If it does, you will need to change the name, perhaps abbreviating the name. If it exceeds the width, the local name will be printed as what you see. The cell centers the name in this space, and if it exceeds the width, You will see and print the center of the name you entered. Next, enter the local sales tax rate in cell H1 and the local gross receipts tax, if applicable, in cell I2. These cells are formatted for percentage 2 places beyond a hole. For example, you enter 1.25 and it will display 1.25% and use this for calculating tax. Some older versions of Excel may require you to enter the decimal form for the calculation to be correct, so double check your entry. All sales information is entered into the appropriate local tax tab. Each local tab works the same. Starting at row 13, enter the date in the leftmost column, A. Then enter the job name or daily sales in column B. Next, enter your sales amount before any taxes in the appropriate monthly column. The totals at the top of the page will add amounts in the monthly columns from rows 13 to 5013, giving you room for 5,000 entries. The top of the page has rows for totals, which will automatically be transferred to the Summary tab. Your local taxes will be calculated and shown here. Do not enter any information in these rows. Each tab is designed to print one page wide in landscape form. This is set for 75% for the Summary tab and 80% for all other tabs. This varies with your computer and printer. However, this should work as explained with most computers and printers. If it does not, you may need to adjust your margins or change the percentage the page prints. When you print, the tab name will appear in the header and be printed in the center. In the footer, the date will be printed on the left, the file name will be printed in the center, and the page and number of pages will be printed on the right. This will permit you to know the number of pages in a multi-page report and the file name, making it easy to find the document for future use. The Summary tab contains all sales tax information. The gross receipts or B&O tax is different and is usually remitted direct to each city. Each local tab will contain the sales tax and the gross receipts tax for that city. The local tab can be printed for each local for a record of the local sales tax and the gross receipts tax. You will probably be printing multiple pages of each local as you use the template. When you do this, the column headings and totals at the top of the page will reprint on the top of each page. These rows will also remain visible as you enter data. So, if you are entering data on row 500, you can still see your totals at the top of the page as you work. The instructions which come with this template will contain information on common changes you may need to make. Thank you for your interest in Bob's Basic System. Bob hopes you understand how easy and time-saving using this template will be for you. If you think this will be useful, please proceed to ordering.